What's up, you guys? I am here to show you one of my favorite sketchbooks. This is the one. This is the one I would go into a burning house to take out. Why? Because this documents the whole process, going from regular drawings to my rabbit series. So I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. This outside is Taoist money that they burned to their ancestors. It has a really interesting texture. I started this sketchbook on my trip to London in 2009, and this was painted or sketched plein air in London. That's Big Ben. And here we have a sketch of inside the subway, a damsel in distress, this little rabbit lady here, and a voyeur watching her. And this is, while I was in London, I visited many different museums. And when I saw a picture that I was interested in, I would sketch it down, and then halfway through, my imagination would take over and you would see rabbit people or rabbits appearing, and I added a bomber in there. This is a study of that I did for one of my paintings of the birdie eating some Twinkies. One of my favorite paintings I've done. More studies. Just sketches I did in the museum. They're really just value studies of his awesome landscapes. This is the prototype to one of my favorite paintings. You can see me right here standing on the corner of 42nd Street in New York City. And this is where it all began, this little sketch right here. These thumbnails, this after I went to London, I mean, these are still London, but after I went to London, this became my sketchbook for making paintings. Here we have a Van Gogh. This Van Gogh is funny. Everyone knows it probably, but it's one of my favorite Van Goghs, and it's in this really small museum that didn't have many security guards, and it doesn't have glass covering it. And I have to admit that after I finished this sketch, I went up and rubbed my little pinky right here on the painting, hoping that some of that magic from Van Gogh would rub off on me. And here we get more into my own sketches. Matisse, Toulouse-Lautrec, Neil Rauch. I just did little, oh, here we go. Here's where my painting study started. Here is a portrait of my father and I, and my giant rabbit that came and ate all the mother rabbit that ate all my baby rabbits. The story will go into another vlog. And here are drawings of me when I was a little kid, and a little study of the hand and the naked cowboy. And this is a nice one. This is In Her Wake, a painting that's hanging up here at Jia挑食, a nice restaurant in Kaohsiung. You can go see it in person if you like. I'll leave the address down below. But yeah, this just shows the value study of this woman that I saw that looked so sad, and I had to capture that face, and it ended up having the garbage man floating back there, which wasn't planned at first, but just appeared. Some studies for other paintings, rabbits. This is a painting I never got around to making. It's of a deli in New York City. I'll have to make that sometime. Here we have George, that I've painted so many paintings of. Just a little sketch. And this one is another version of me on 42nd Street, the self-portrait, and this damsel in distress walking over, and some other spirits. It's a very large painting. There's even an astronaut in there. It's just a study for a large painting. And here we have one of my favorite not sketches, but final paintings, but it's of I think it's called Soul Train. It has this ghost. These are studies for the piece, but it has this driver driving the subway, the New York subway. And if you look closer later in the window, these are all the studies for it, but later in the window, this rabbit spirit is riding with him. Yeah, turned out pretty nice. So like I said, my sketchbooks are usually used for preparatory sketches for larger pieces. Like this one is another rehash of that 42nd Street. I was really obsessed with that painting. Some George and some dead rabbits studies. Here we have Garbage Men at Times Square. Studies for a large painting. Me on the subway, and this one's called What the Rabbit Saw, the painting. There's another study for What the Rabbit Saw. We have the rabbit up there in the corner. And these are just sketches I did while I was in New York of subway entrance. I saw this interesting Neil Rauch painting, and I really liked it, of some guys arm wrestling, so I did an homage to that, a garbage man and a rabbit man. Here we have a screaming rabbit. Yes, I never actually finished this or made it into a painting. More garbage men and rabbits. A whole slew of garbage men that went out and killed rabbits. There's even some, most of them are all self-portraits, but there's also some rabbits in there. They'll have Louisville sluggers. Here's my father bringing the rabbit for me, and I have the bat, and my sister's protecting her white rabbit, and I have this black rabbit that is going to perish soon. And this sketch is of a traffic policeman that I did while I was down there at Times Square. So every time I went down to the city, I'd have this sketchbook with me, and there's another view of that Times Square traffic cop. There's the traffic cop and some onlookers, me in the background and onlookers back there. And here we have my father and I, me protecting my rabbit from my dad. The black ninja, rabbit skeleton drawing.